Saudi Arabia's reigning royal family is valued at over $1.4 trillion, which is 16 times that of the British royal family. The governing monarchy derives most of its revenue from massive oil deposits, discovered 7 to 5 years ago, which transformed the country's finances and made the House of Saud the world's wealthiest family. According to the House of Saud, the wealth is divided among 15,000 royal family members who live in luxurious palaces. The family is well known for leading an exceptional lifestyle, which has been chastised on multiple occasions for being wastefully lavish and pompous. So, how did they get their wealth, and how did they spend it? Let's find out that and much more in today's video. But before we start, guess what? Please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It really helps us a lot. After doing that, thank you. And now, let's get started. Saudi Aramco, the state-owned oil firm, is the backbone of the Saudi royal family's fortunes. The Saudi government owns the company, which owns 98.2% of it. The oil behemoth controls the great majority of the Arabian Peninsula's oil reserves and is presently valued at $2 trillion, making it the world's most valuable enterprise. It is the House of Saud's primary source of revenue. But who are the Saudi royals? And where did it all start? Well, in the year 1687, the House of Saud's Grand Patriarch formed the first Saudi state. Mohammed bin Saud was the monarch of Duriya, which is now known as Saudi Arabia. His kingdom thrived under the spiritual leadership of Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab, the originator of Wahhabism, a fundamentalist form of Islam that is still practiced today. Although the family tree on the official website of the House of Saud begins with Abdulaziz ibn Saud, the first king of Saudi Arabia in the third Saudi state was Mohammed bin Saud. He is the grand patron of the House of Saud and ruler of the first Saudi state. King Salman of Saudi Arabia, the sixth son of Ibn Saud later on, succeeded his late brother Abdullah bin Abdulaziz al Saud in 2015, one of the most influential members of the royal family. The Al Yamamah Palace is his official residence. It also serves as the royal court's headquarters. The palace is located in Riyadh's western suburbs. It serves as the important reception center for the kingdom's prominent visitors, as well as the headquarters for the writing of royal decrees. The king is reputedly worth $18 billion, making him the world's third wealthiest royal. His fortune comes from his share of the royal family's holdings, including Saudi Aramco. King Salman, like past monarchs, appears to relish opulence, reportedly sharing a passion for ultra-expensive yachts and artworks with his 34-year-old son, Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. The king has primarily been a traditionalist, resisting the implementation of democracy and refusing to remit harsh blasphemy penalties like prison sentences and lashing. However, it has been suggested in recent years that his son Mohammed bin Salman, who was crowned the crown prince in 2017 and has led a number of reforms, including a recent modification in the law allowing women to drive, is the de facto ruler of the kingdom. Mohammed bin Salman has been chastised for a crackdown on human rights protests and an escalation in assertive foreign policy, including Saudi Arabia's intervention in Yemen's civil war, which has had disastrous humanitarian effects. Since 2017, he has created chaos in the royal family, including the seizure of assets from hundreds of members, purportedly in the name of corruption, and more recent arrests of former senior royals suspected of opposing the crown prince's consolidation of power. Saudi royal family members, like their British counterparts, are notoriously discreet about their wealth. But what is known, however, points to a lavish lifestyle with private aircraft, luxury yachts, top-of-the-line helicopters, enormous shadows, and a gigantic mansion decked out in gold furniture, even a gold-plated Kleenex dispenser. The royal family has a lifestyle that includes opulent pleasures like super yachts and private jets, and funding Middle Eastern wars. The crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, better known as MBS, paid $450.3 million on a proxy purchase of Leonardo da Vinci's 500-year-old painting Salvator Mundi in 2017. The painting, also known as Jesus Christ, set a new auction record for a painting. The buyer's identity became something of a parlor game. Even Christie's execs were perplexed as to who it was. Prince Bader did not show up as a bidder until the auction day. He put down a $100 million deposit to qualify for bidding at the time. Christie's pressed him to prove his identification and the source of his funds. The prince replied that he made his money in real estate and was only one of 5,000 Saudi princes. He also paid more than $300 million for the Chateau Louis XIV in France, which Fortune magazine dubbed the world's most costly mansion. The chateau contains 10 bedrooms, indoor and outdoor pools, a cinema, a wine cellar, and a moat with a transparent underwater chamber. He also owns a fleet of high-end luxury vehicles, including a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, and several BMW and Land Cruisers. Born into wealth and luxury, he has 2 ships dedicated solely to pleasure. He purchased the first one, Pegasus 8, in 2008. The ship has a helicopter pad, a golf driving range, a cinema hall, a dance floor, a grill, and bars. In 2015, he purchased his second yacht for a stunning $689 million. There are 7 decks, 2 helipads, and a saltwater pool on this one. One of the world's wealthiest men, Bill Gates, is said to have hired it for $9 million for a week. He is also apparently looking to buy a Premier League football club, which is thought to beat Newcastle United. Many human rights organizations have written to the Premier League, urging it to prevent the Crown Prince from buying any English club, noting his bad human rights record, including the murder of Saudi dissident Jamal Khashoggi. It happened in October 2018 when Saudi operatives killed prominent Saudi writer Jamal Khashoggi inside the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul. After months of denial, Riyadh finally confessed that Khashoggi was murdered inside the Saudi consulate and issued an arrest order for 18 people suspected of being involved. However, how cruel they might be, some members of the family, on the other hand, donate money to philanthropic organizations and invest in the Saudi people. Recently, the country committed millions of dollars to a World Bank initiative supporting female entrepreneurs. Last year, in an effort to combat corruption, the Crown Prince required the country's wealthiest citizens, including many of his relatives, to hand over their fortunes to the government. As a result, 11 Saudi billionaires were removed from Forbes' annual list of the world's billionaires. Something else about Saudi is that they are renowned as the world's largest weaponry importer, spending tens of billions of dollars. Saudi rulers spent an estimated total of $67.6 billion in 2018, leading a coalition that is fueling Yemen's continuing civil catastrophe. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates began a military campaign in Yemen in 2015, reportedly to restore the control of the Yemeni government, which had been forced to depart the country due to Houthis rebels. Despite overwhelming air power, the alliance has failed to recapture most of the country from the Houthis after 5 years of conflict. The rebels remain in control of the capital, Sana'a. The UAE has also helped separatists in Yemen's south in their quest to establish a state independent of the Yemeni government. Around 2 million children under the age of 5 have been diagnosed with acute malnutrition and required treatment since the violence started in March 2015. Yemen's civil conflict has claimed the lives of over 100,000 people, including civilians killed by Saudi air attacks. The family also has some controversies, including that members of the royal family have been kidnapped in the past. Over the years, the oil-rich monarchy has seen various internal disputes within the family. There is ample proof that Saudi Arabia's royal family members have been kidnapped and abducted in other countries and returned to Riyadh. However, Saudi officials have previously denied all allegations regarding the fate of missing princes. The Saudi royal family kidnapped Prince Sultan bin Turki, Prince Turki bin Bandar, and Prince Saud bin Saif for criticizing Riyadh's leadership. All in all, we still love the family and cherish their lavish lifestyle. Well, and that's all for today's video, guys. What do you love most about them? And is it worth being a prince in Saudi? Comment below. Let's engage. Also, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Goodbye. See you next time.